What's the worst case of medical negligence you've ever seen? For me, it was watching my dad's life slip away because a doctor brushed off every warning sign until it was too late. My father was the kind of man who never complained. A World War history buff, a retired teacher, and the kind of dad who'd still mow the lawn at 65 just to stay active. So when he mentioned chest discomfort one Saturday morning, my mom and I exchanged worried looks. He tried to brush it off, calling it indigestion from last night's curry, but I knew better. Something in his face, pale, tight with pain, told me this wasn't just indigestion. We rushed him to the ER. That's where the nightmare began. The emergency room was packed, buzzing with people coughing, crying, calling relatives. Tired-looking doctor finally saw him after what felt like an eternity. My dad explained the pressure in his chest, how it radiated to his jaw, how he felt dizzy. Classic heart attack symptoms, right? But the doctor didn't even look alarmed. He scribbled notes, shrugged, and said, probably just acid reflux. Happens all the time. I remember blurting out, but aren't those heart attack signs? He gave me that dismissive look doctors sometimes give when they think you've read too much WebMD. Trust me, he said flatly. We'll give him some antacids, run a basic ECG, and send him home. No urgency, no cardiac enzymes test, no admission for monitoring, nothing. The ECG came back normal. I later learned that many heart attacks don't show up right away, but at that moment, the doctor used it as proof that my dad was fine. See, he said, as if he'd won an argument. He's healthy. He's just stressed. Let him rest. Against my instincts, I let my dad be discharged. He even joked on the way out. See, I told you it was just spicy food. But his laugh was weak, and his hand trembled as he tried to buckle his seatbelt. That night, I woke to a sound I'll never forget, my mom screaming. I ran into their bedroom, and there was my dad, drenched in sweat, clutching his chest, gasping for air. We called 911. Paramedics worked frantically as we followed in the car, my mom sobbing next to me. The hospital. Machines beeped wildly. Nurses shouted codes, and I felt like I was in a TV drama, except this was real life, and the man on the gurney was my father. Cardiologist came out with words I'll never erase from my mind. Massive myocardial infarction. He should have been admitted hours ago. Hours ago. The exact time we were sent home. My dad survived, but barely. He lost nearly half of his heart function that night. The vibrant, joking, stubborn man we knew came home weeks later. Weaker, slower, forever tethered to medications and oxygen. He couldn't mow the lawn anymore. He couldn't walk up the stairs without gasping. He couldn't even tell long stories to his grandkids without pausing to catch his breath. We lost the man he was, all because one doctor couldn't be bothered to take his symptoms seriously. We filed a formal complaint. Do you know what the hospital said? We'll conduct an internal review. Months passed. We got a letter that boiled down to, we regret the outcome, but medical decisions are made based on the evidence at the time. Evidence? He had every textbook symptom of a heart attack. I hired a lawyer, but malpractice cases drag on for years. Hospitals hide behind legal teams, doctors protect each other, and families like mine are left drained financially and emotionally. In the end, we didn't win a settlement. We didn't get an apology. All we got was my father's shortened life and a bitter lesson. Negligence doesn't always look like someone doing something wrong. Sometimes it's what they fail to do. The hardest part? Watching my dad blame himself. He'd whisper, if only I hadn't brushed it off. If only I'd pushed harder to stay. He thought it was his fault, but it wasn't. It was the system that failed him. Every time I see him struggling to climb the porch steps, I think of that doctor's dismissive face, the arrogance, the rushed dismissal of real danger. So here's my message to anyone listening. Never let a doctor brush off your instincts. Demand tests. Ask questions. Be the annoying patient if you have to, because sometimes that's the only thing standing between your loved one and a tragedy. I wish I had fought harder. I wish I had made them keep him overnight. Maybe then, my dad would still be telling long stories at the dinner table, instead of sitting silently with oxygen tubes in his nose. And the cruel irony? That doctor is still practicing today. Probably telling another worried family that it's just acid reflux, but my family will never be the same.